My Life Between Lives story from Newton-trained Institute practitioners.
I see a whole change in the thrust of searching for answers about who we are and why we're here. And I think it's wonderful, and I just hope the movement continues to expand.
Let us expand the universal consciousness together with a My Life Between Lives story presented by the Michael Newton Institute.
Yay! Hi folks, when we're back again, it's Apple and me. And guess what? You remember I had said this is a special segment, it's a special episode. Why is it special? It's because I've been hosting this for the last so many episodes. And I'm very, very happy to say that now the person who just shared her story, Apple, is going to take over as host after this. And who's going to share her story with Apple for the first time in my LBL story? It's me. And I'm so excited to share this space with Apple and to hand over this role of being the host of my LBL story to Apple. Welcome, 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 Apple.
It's an absolute joy to be here with you, Indrani, and thank you for your inspiration and guidance to bring me here. And I really follow your footsteps. And look at what you have done for LBL and for our community, for the globe, and your light shines through from afar. So thank you for being my first guest on this special episode, My LBL Story. I'm very interested how you step into your spiritual power. When did you start your spiritual journey?
So my journey actually started when I was about 15. I remember this episode, this instance in my life very clearly. We were at a temple, my mother and I, and some members of the family. And it was time for the evening prayers, and there was this whole ambience of people chanting, the aroma of incense, the light, the sound of the drums and the cymbals and all of that. There was a very different vibration there. And I just had this strange feeling, which now as a therapist I can say was this amazing expansion of my heart space. Now, what started then for me is continuing till now, because there was this connection. And I now realize that all the questions I kept asking about where do we go once we die, what happens to us, what's karma, what is afterlife, what is life between lives, what is reincarnation, all these questions, I started my journey then when I was 15. Led me to attending classes on the Bhagavad Gita. I've even tried going and staying in an ashram for a while. There was at one time when I was very seriously contemplating, and I was in university at that time, that I want to quit what I was calling the three-dimensional earthly life, if I can use that term, and then just go live in a commune. More like a brahmachari, if that makes any sense, more of an esoteric life. But I think what fast forward life brought was one went through all other aspects of life, and one has continued to experience, and what it taught me was duality and the polarity of human existence. So you can do this and well do that as well. You don't have to give up one for the other. And there's so much of joy in knowing. And I'm talking 15 and I'm 57 today. So it's been a long journey for me. And I'm constantly discovering this balance, constantly exploring this balance of human existence. So yeah, my spiritual journey is still on, and it started then.
What a journey, 42 years. I'm not thinking, wow, I've got a long way to go and to catch up. Yes. So how did you came to know Michael Newton Institute and the LBL method?
So that's again a very mystic experience, Apple. I was in Mumbai in India, and I was attending the arts symposium. That's the Asian regression therapies seminar symposium that is hosted there by an organization called CLA. And in that, there was a particular segment, one presenter who is a member of the MNI. And I think at that moment she was a board member, and she was presenting there. Now, this is me meeting this lady for the first time. I have not attended the LBL session. I was just having a cup of coffee with her outside, and she was just talking to me. And there were a few things that were interesting. One, we come from the same part of the country. Our mother tongue was the same. And I looked at her and I told her, I said, I'm going to go and train up. I have not read Michael's books. I hadn't seen Michael's videos. It was literally a 10 minutes, 15 minutes conversation with Savari over a cup of coffee, which made me take this decision that I'm signing up and I'm going to go and I'm going to study LBL. Now, I actually encountered Michael after that with the books and the videos, but I'd already decided I am going to go study LBL with MNI. Was guiding me. I'm sure there was something guiding me. I'm sure it was Michael guiding me.
Sure, something's guiding you. So how has LBL been different to your other modalities? And I've counted that you have more than 10 different modalities. You know, CBT, emotional management, and theta healing, Reiki, shamanic, yoga, or you name it, if you've done it. And I'm absolutely impressed and speechless about what you have done in your healing or spiritual journey and to develop yourself. You're an absolute expert. I'm like thinking, honestly, green apple towards all this, you know, our senior mentors here. So how does MNI or LBL method different from others? How does this method complement your other modalities?
So, Apple, when I studied integrated clinical hypnotherapy, and I'm very grateful to my teacher because he introduced me, and I really say this in all honesty, I'm deeply grateful for getting a teacher like him when I started my journey in hypnotherapy, because he opened so it's a very intense program. It's 6 levels. Those days when we studied, it was 5 levels in 2008. We were given a taste of LBL because we were doing past life regression very, very in a very structured manner. We were taught past life regression. And there were some of us in the past life regression sessions who were going into that realm between lifetimes. And it's not like you are planning it, but you're just going there. And you know how it is when you do past life regression. You've gone to a lifetime, but sometimes after death, the soul's moving into a realm, which is the spirit realm, or places where you're meeting your guides. Now, even in shamanism, we meet our spirit guides, our ancestors, our power animals. I have done other modalities, so I've also been encountering all the other divine beings in different ways who are guiding us from other lifetimes, other dimensions, other frequencies. Now, when I studied integrated clinical hypnotherapy, and I was also teaching it, obviously when you teach a modality, it becomes very strongly embedded in the way you study something, or you teach something, or you practice something. Then I did transpersonal regression therapy, which is with the Tasso Institute. Again, beautiful learning, getting into realms where you're literally following the soul's journey. So whether you're doing age regression, womb regression, past life regression, and beyond. Now, this and beyond is by default the LBL. You're going into the space between lifetimes, between incarnations. So when I studied Michael's books, I remember this very, very clearly. You remember that white book with blue writing which says Life Between Lives Hypnotherapy by Michael? I think it's a book that we've all studied, right? I remember rereading it on the flight from Dubai, which is where I'm based, to DC, Washington, DC, because we were doing our course in Maryland, if I remember, in a place called Bon Secours.
When was that?
In 2016. And I remember when I was rereading this book on the aircraft, I kept getting this feeling of a sense of knowing. You know that sense of knowing that you have? Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, this is also familiar. It's the same feeling I had when I read Destiny of Souls and Journey of Souls. Not at a single moment did it feel, oh, this is a bit, what is this? That just never popped up. There was always a sense of knowing, a sense of familiarity. It's a lot like your veil has been moved and your soul's recognizing something as Indrani for the first time. But the soul already had this knowingness, if it's making sense. So when I encountered LBL and I studied LBL with MNI, I was very lucky to have amazing classmates. We were in this absolutely gorgeous place, surrounded by the woods, amazing teachers. And throughout the class, throughout the course, there was always the sense of familiarity. That's the one thing. At no point did I feel this isn't making sense or I don't know this. It was always this feeling of, yeah, I get it. I know this. You know, it's a lot like Indrani acknowledging something that the soul already knows. Now, interestingly, and Apple, this is a little trivia for you. If I'm understanding and remembering right, we were the last batch before Michael moved on into light. And I remember two very specific instances that I would like to share with you. We used to have a lunch break, and the woods were around the place where we used to study. So during lunch break, we were kind of, I would say, subtly encouraged to spend time with ourselves because you know how beautiful the course is, and this is in person. So you're kind of cut off from the rest of the world. You're in this very beautiful space in nature. And I would go sit at a space from where you could see a meadow-like area, and then the woods would start beyond that. It was very beautiful. And I'm in a very urban space in Dubai. So for me, all this nature and greenery and woods it's heavenly, if I may say so. And I remember sitting there and having this moment, and this is a term I now keep using, having a moment. It was the series of moments of thinking, if I ever was really looking, what's my life purpose? I already found it now. I know what I'm doing. I know what I have to give and contribute to this existence, in this incarnation, as Indrani, in this world that I'm born into. It's a lot like, thank you, Michael. Thank you, MNI, because that's what I'm getting and that's what I'm now going to do. It's this beautiful connection to your life purpose. And everything done that I've done till then, it was preparing me to get this cake. Now the cake's beautifully iced. We're ready to move. This is what LBL MNI gave me. I mean, I'm remembering so many of those instances. And so today, when I see Diana's my batchmate. When I see Travis is such a dear friend and a batchmate. Elizabeth, a beautiful batchmate, remembering so many beautiful experiences. Paul was our teacher. Rifa, Paul, Avis, Jimmy, they were our teachers. So all I can say is that there is something mystic here that happened then. And today in 2024, it's what? 2016 September is when we studied together. It's been 6.5 or nearly 7 years of this journey with MNI. And there's just one word for it, beautiful.
Your light, your beauty, you have that sweetness, energy within you. It's so contagious. I'm sure
Thank you.
team that who studied LBL would agree with what I said. Well, you studied with Michael Newton yourself. Tell us who Michael Newton is in person.
So we never had Michael in class with us other than Michael's video. This is something that you possibly know, Apple, that Michael had stopped teaching towards the last few years. And we had his students teaching us, and there was so much learning that came. But I still remember when that video was shown in class, if I may use this term, Michael to me, if you ask me personally, who is Michael to you, Indrani? Michael to me is this teacher or mentor who I may not have met physically, face to face, in person. But in my heart space, in my soul realm, there is this huge sense of familiarity. Like, I feel we've all known each other in some lifetime or the other. We are like comrades who've come together in this lifetime to put our resources and energies together to contribute something. And Michael is the class teacher. And we are his students. So if I may use this term, a sort of a mentor-disciple relationship. So it's like, it's your vision, but that's my mission. And whether you are in this physical space or not, in the energy realm, you're there with us, you're guiding us, and we're taking it forward with whatever we have, with that integrity, and knowing that we're doing it out of that love that exists in that relationship. And that is across time and space. That isn't in any dimensional way being measured, because it's continuous, there's a simultaneity in it.
Timeless, spaceless is the work that we're doing. How do you see that this legacy being carried on, the impact that we can create for the future generations?
I think Apple, we're already doing that with the kind of momentum MNI has created, and in all humility, given the opportunity to serve, and I use the word serve with humility, in the public engagement forum, which you and I are both a part of, and being part of the advisory council. I think it's giving all of us as volunteers the opportunity to contribute, keeping in mind the kind of frequency the society is functioning with today, being aware of what the world needs, what humanity needs. MNI just has it. And I think we're putting together, we're coming together, we're being able to contribute so beautifully, because it's so powerful. You know, when I was listening to what you were sharing, it's so true. We have a beautiful technique and a tool which we are weaving with other techniques and tools known to us, and we're being able to offer that to humanity, to every individual, and enabling them to enable themselves to actually be able to function at highest and best potential that is respective for each individual. So as MNI and as an LBL facilitator, we are being able to harness all that which Michael has given us and gifted us, and then we're putting in our own resources, our learning, our awareness, and that's what we're giving back today to society. And there's so much that society can benefit, people can benefit from each of us in whichever part of the world we are in.
I'm interested to know, what are the problems that an LBL session can solve where other modalities cannot resolve?
So let me give you a couple of, may I share a couple of cases then?
Sure.
Okay. So there was a lady, and I've known her for a while socially. She's a person who hadn't read any book of Michael. She hadn't seen any book of, or seen any podcast of anybody in LBL or MNI. But a lady who had a basic understanding of spiritualism, and she had approached me for a session. All she had done with me was some talk therapy, a little bit of CBT, a little bit of emotion management technique, what I would call very very beginner level work with, let me put it this way, no hardcore therapy done here, no hardcore regression work, none of that done. So she straight away said, I want to do LBL. So I said, well, we'll first do a past life regression and then we look at LBL. But one thing that I do weave into my work, and which I share in, with my clients, is if there is a sub-personality of this lifetime who needs to be addressed in inner child, let's say, we will have to honor that first. And I would always recommend, let's honor what needs to be honored here and then guide you in. Maybe something gets resolved right away. Maybe there are challenges in the womb that needs to be addressed. So I would like us to go through that journey. And she was wonderful. She said, okay, let's go for it. Now, her past life regression session happened in an evening. Beautiful. Point to point went very well. And she was calendared in for her LBL the very next day. And I had already prepared. I have a questionnaire that I share with my clients to get from them a very clear understanding. What is it that they want to address in the session? And then what I do is I pray and I put it out there as an intent for whoever's guiding us into whichever dimension, that this is the intent of the soul. This is what the soul wishes to reveal. This is what the mind of the individual, the human, is asking for. And may whatever she is ready or he is ready to receive, may it come with grace in the session. It was an exceptionally humbling session, because here is a person who's never read any of Michael's books. And I was guiding her. In those days, I used to follow Michael's script to the T. Every comma, full stop was there for me. I was literally following the script to the T. She went into every stop. Her train stopped at every stop. She was able to tick literally, and I was like, wow, she's ticking all the boxes for her, because we were getting the answers she needed, the clarity she was seeking. But what was most important and beautiful is when she went into the space with the council, and she had a guide present in the session. In her interaction in that space with the council, she got a whole lot of answers and clarity about what her life, she was in a bit of a crossroad about how life can pan out and what she's in this life for, and so on. This is 2017 or 17, 18, if I've got my dates right, Apple. It's 2024. The lady has moved out of Dubai, completely changed her track in her career graph, in her personal space, doing exceptionally well with what she's chosen to move into. She's gotten into healing completely. She's given up corporate life totally. Very happy in the space she's chosen for herself. So I think one of the biggest things that LBL gifts an individual is, once you have this observer overview, disassociative understanding of what this journey is all about, and what you have the capacity beyond limit, beyond limitation of value, the beliefs that you create, because beliefs can sometimes be very controlling. And when you go beyond that, when you move into a vibration or a frequency which is enabling you to look at your own life and what are the things you can fine tune and change and redefine and realign, oh gosh, you just open up so many possibilities. And that is why we say that, love and abundance is something that can come into your space with ease and grace. But what you do with LBL is you go beyond the fear. Because any limitation, when you dig beneath limitations, is you will find fear at some level. And once that fear is faced, once that fear is understood, and you can rise yourself above that, you can disengage from that, LBL gives you that possibility. Because I feel for anyone, and it's very interesting when I say this, Apple, I'm happiest when very young people come for LBL. When a young person comes for a LBL session, it is so beautiful, because as a facilitator, wow, this soul at a much early on earthly age is actually opening up their life force, their life capacity, their life potential to be able to engage at a gear and a velocity which is much higher. And can you then imagine what they can create for themselves? It's just phenomenal. And we want these souls, we want more and more of these souls to come forward and explore, experience, and then manifest.
What a profound story and enlightenment that you have brought to that, fortunate lady. And I have to agree with you that when I see someone who's younger come forward, well, we were thinking, okay, the world is all opening. Everybody's awakening. Everybody needs this spiritual transformation, and let's all do this work together. So it's really a wonderful thing, or a phenomenon that perhaps is happening globally. And so I can see that you are also interested, or you are specialized in relationship healing, self-healing, manifest technique, and cell generation. Yeah. I have a question for you in relation to the self-healing and cell generation. Help us understand more about this.
So when we were studying clinical hypnotherapy, one of the things that I remember which attracted me a lot is what brought me into the studying of this course. So I have had an issue with my lung in the past, and that had led to 2 relapses when I was trying to be very careful and all of that. And that is actually what brought me into the world of clinical hypnotherapy, is to understand the connection between the physical body and the human mind. And at that point, these were the only 2 we were looking at. Now, there's a third point, which is the soul. So now, when I studied clinical hypnotherapy, we were studying a lot of the connection between the body and the mind. It made me started studying a little further and reading a little more. And going deeper and deeper into understanding that the cells hold memory. So if there's any trauma that if I put it very simply, let's say I've been through a trauma at a particular age, at a particular time, then the trauma energy is being stored in the cells of that part of me in that organ. So if I can start through guided visualization, through personification, start addressing that part of my body, that system, that organ, then I can make a certain shift, or I can try to create a certain shift. And this is where the soul level comes in, is also to go into a session where we experience from the soul's perspective, why did the soul choose the body that is having to go through whatever it's going through. So is there an ancestral factor there? Is there something that is karmic? Is there a leftover of other lifetime traumas? Is there something that, because I'm sure as a LBL therapist, even as a past life regressionist, many times when you're doing a past life regression, if a trauma was there held in the body of the past life personality, you have seen at the moment of the session, the client sometimes even feeling sensations in that part of the body, right, Apple?
Absolutely.
So if that's happening, that means there is a cell memory, but this body of this lifetime didn't experience it. So what is the cell holding on to? That means it's the soul's knowledge of a past life that the soul has experienced. But in this incarnation, when we start addressing it, we give the client the opportunity to release it. And that, imagine how much of healing you can give the organ.
And is that coming from the life between life therapy?
Yes, because when you do life between lives, you are going into that as well, right? I'll give you a very bizarre, because you talked about all the modalities I practice, right? So I'll give you a very bizarre, I'm calling it bizarre, but it's a fun mix that I try. I call it my own little cocktail, where you know about constellations, right? So
Yes.
when I studied so when I studied organizational constellation, uh, my teacher was also the person whose books I've read when I was doing the transpersonal regression work. So now I have his work with me. I've done LPL under Michael's scripts. So I've got all of that with me. And now I've studied organizational constellation. And I said, okay, why don't I try mixing something and seeing how it goes? So with a particular client, we started addressing. So she has diabetes. She was on medication and all of that. And I told her very honestly that I'm going to try something where I'm going to try and bridge and mix multiple modalities to see how this works. In the session, I'll tell you how I mixed it. We actually personified the organs and the systems of her body. And in that, we brought in past life characters or past life personalities of different lifetimes, which could have had something to do with those organs of their body or those systems of their bodies. So now we are going into that across time space. And we are also calling in the session, this is where LBL is playing up, is to call in the guide. And see if the guide could give more input to the past life personalities, because the guide is familiar for the soul. Just one word for that session, it was wow. Even I was sitting in wonder after the session, because it enabled us to mix modalities. It enabled me to help the client who at this time, as I even speak to you, she's on base dosage, she's doing so much better. She's quite the spokesperson. But today when I see her and I see her functioning so well, I feel happy that I've had some little contribution in her own journey, because this is her soul's journey. I'm nothing but a person who her soul was able to manifest at that time to be able to even think of combining modalities and offering her something. So with her session, I was using the structure of constellation, but I was weaving LBL into it, and I was weaving the cell regeneration work that I do. And it's just using classical hypnotherapy modalities with LBL and using the structure of constellation.
What a beautiful gift you are. I think you yourself is a gift to humanity. Whoever that comes forward to you to connect to light and the love. So what I can see that the healing covers three aspects. Number one, current life, unhealed trauma, whatever events happened in the past, stored in the cells. And then there is past life memory, whatever issues we need to learn in the past, or disease ailment, or the way that we died. Those also stored in the soul memory, right? The soul memory. And then we go to another step further to experience that afterlife journey to see how we actually plan this life. Is that right? And the reason we chose this life and what are we supposed to learn, to uncover, to achieve in this life.
For that matter, may I share a very personal experience here with you that might just probably add another layer to this.
Please.
And it's so it's interesting that we're doing this session today itself. So just a year back, literally at this time, I had been diagnosed with something where they did find in the biopsy report that I had tested positive for cancer. So we all know, right? However evolved we are, the moment we hear the word cancer, it kind of shocks us. It kind of, rattles all of us. I remember the day I got the biopsy report, that very evening, I was able to book in a session with a very dear friend and a colleague of mine who also who has also studied hypnotherapy and practices it. And I said, I just want to talk to the organs which are now going to, leave my body. And I also want to talk to the cancer cells. And I trust you to guide me through this session. And, it was a very beautiful session. I was able to see them in color. I was able to talk to them. I was able to understand why was my body going through what it was going through, what was the ancestral factor, the karmic factor, the soul level factor, went into every bit of it. So when I did this session, what it gave me was closure. Another thing that came to me was, in many of our journeys in this lifetime, when we go through surgeries, where our bodies have to say bye-bye to a particular part, an organ. I think it's a great idea, and I've done it myself, so I stand by this, is to do a proper, solemn closure, goodbye, thank you, appreciate all that you gave me, all that I got from you, and the fact that I'm saying bye-bye to you because you're going to be leaving my body. And then also speaking to the body to say, hello, after the surgery, they aren't here anymore. And you have to get used to the fact that you'll be functioning without them. And when I'm thinking and I'm talking to you, I'm wishing years ago when I have had other surgeries where certain organs have been moved out of my body, I wish I'd done them. So subsequently, I have been doing body talk again and again, where I visualize I'm talking to that part of my body or that organ. And then how LBL helps is to call my guide or to understand from a realm of a soul, why in this lifetime was I choosing these experiences? Because each of these experiences obviously has layered understanding. And what does it give me? It gives me more love for my body. It gives me more acceptance for this beautiful body I have that's housing my soul in this lifetime. It gives me compassion. It gives me tremendous compassion for myself, but also for others who probably go through the journey of whatever they're struggling with in their body. So understanding the body, understanding that the body does speak to us, and understanding the connection of the soul, because the soul in the life selection room chose this body. So when we guide clients in our LBL session, through that segment where they're in the life selection room and they're choosing the body, they're choosing the personality, they're choosing all these experiences, they're choosing to be in the incarnation that they're in. Why that body and why those experiences?
How wonderful.
I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful I could share this with you.
I'm speechless by listening to your story. That is absolutely remarkable. And so what happened to the cancer cells?
Well, I did say bye-bye to them. And as I talk to you, I'm on standby for my 6-monthly test. We're supposed to go through that. And I think that's going to be, today's the 23rd, right? Yep. and I'm scheduled for the tests 10 days from now.
How exciting. We're looking forward to hear some great news. I trust the universe
Yes, I
has a
trust
gift
too.
for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing this very intimate story with us and in viewing our position in MNI Institute and our responsibility with our community and human beings as whole. What messages do you have for our audience?
I think one of the most important message that I have based on the region of the world that I'm practicing in is you all have questions. We all have doubts. We all have insecurities. My one request is ask, seek, because the universe will give you just the kind of therapist or counselor or coach that you require to help you navigate through a particular phase of your life. As a LBL facilitator, all I can say is the journey that we are on has a very deep spiritual essence. And in humanity today, I think what is very important is for us to understand and acknowledge and accept that we need each other. We need to reach out to each other. We are connected. And if we can believe in this connection, we feel we can reach out, then please do. Because when you truly reach out from your heart, there will be someone who will hear your call. And as MNI practitioners across the globe, I think that's one of the most important thing that we've committed to is that we are here. And all one needs to do is to reach out. And it is true that today, thanks to social media, there is just so much available. There is so much of knowledge available, so much of learning life lessons, even some of the meditations that people share. You just need to open yourself to receiving. And when you open yourself to receiving, open it with that belief that I deserve this. I deserve to receive. Because when you open yourself to this belief that I deserve to receive, you will receive what is best for you. Don't limit that. Don't limit it because the universe knows and the universe will give. And there is more than enough. There's such tremendous amount of abundance and love flowing, but you have to open yourself to believing. Go beyond that limitation. Don't allow your mind to hold you back. Trust that soul voice which is inside you. Spend a few minutes every day, however busy you are, just a few minutes alone with yourself. Don't do anything. Just close your eyes, sit with your breath. And in that silence, there is a voice that speaks to you. When you learn to harness that silence and you listen to that voice, it is so powerful. And when you listen to that voice, it guides you. But to do that, you need to give that love, that compassion, that trust yourself. And to believe that that voice is going to guide me, I trust it. If you can do that, you are opening yourself to all the potential that is sitting within you.
How wonderful. Listen, ask, trust, and then follow it through. Having to know your story, I'm going to do a little impromptu meditation and just calling our spiritual guides, our higher self, or healing angels to be present with you and sending you
Yes,
love
so
and light.
beautiful, Apple. Apple, you literally heard an inner voice because I was just going to say that would love to do a little guided session here for everyone, just for everyone.
If you allow me, I have the honor to do a short, a few minutes guided meditation to bring all the healing energy.
Please,
You truly deserve it, and more than deserving.
thank you.
And words sometimes could not really express the appreciation, the gratitude, the connection, the oneness connection, the understanding we have for each other, and such a beautiful energy. And let's just close our eyes together. It's coming to this presence, infinite light and love, and send this love and light to our dear friend, sister, mother, wife, mentor, teacher. She is unlimited. She is dear to our heart. And I ask the universe to provide what she needs and what community wants. Not just for this body, not for her individual person, because she represents consciousness. And ask the universe to show your power, your magical light. We know that you can heal everything. And we surrender. We surrender this body. We surrender this mind. We're all part of the consciousness. We'll come from the source. We know what creates us, can heal us. And you feel that. And we feel each other. The sparks within you and I transcend beyond this physical limitation. And knowing that we are so connected with each other, you are in me, I am in you, and my love goes with you. Transcend beyond this realm. And let's go home together and come back together with more light and love. And reflecting the gifts that we carry, the responsibilities, the vision and the mission that we share together as one. And now I bring that divine light into my friend, my sister, Indrani's body. And you're open to all infinite possibilities. And you are that unlimited source. You continue to shine through here and there. Nothing limits you. And you know that. You know this infinite light travel through every single cell of your body. Bring all that the community needs. And take you to another step, further, deeper. Conquer all the challenges. Because you were born strong, you were born gifted, you were born pure. And you're ready for your next step. Know that you're unlimited. Know that the cells, the organs are listening to you, listening to me. Changing, transforming, regenerating, and just allowing it to happen quietly, naturally, spontaneously. Because we want it to happen that way. Because you deserve that way. And the society, your community love it that way. It's simple like that. It feels right. And that your next check examination will be cleared out. We feel that. We feel the new cells has been planted seeds in the body already planted long ago. We sense the bodies dancing, singing, pure happiness and joy. Transcend this physical body. Your light and love. In eternal, infinite fashion, and I'm with you. We're all with you. For that we are one. For that we are unlimited. For that the light and the love sit right here, right there, in that body, in this body. For that you know the truth. For that you are healed. Love and light to all sentient beings. And slowly we can come back to the physical body. Gently open your eyes. Wow, you're glowing. That's all I can see.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Do I have the permission to share something?
Anything.
Okay, it just came as a vision while you were guiding me through this, and I even asked, do I share it? And I was told, yes, you should. So it's coming from a space of abject gratitude and just a lot of love and gratitude that's coming from within. And I think one of the key things that drives me or motivates me on a daily basis is gratitude, because I feel the more grateful you are, the more life flows. And I just want to share a small prayer. You can call it an intent or an intention based on what I received, which I'd like to share with everyone here today, but especially for you, my beautiful friend. You can close your eyes if you want. You can cross your hands and just place it on your heart space. And then just take a few deep, slow breaths. And with each and every breath, just allow yourself, with your eyes closed, to center your consciousness in the here and now, wherever you are. And just focus your breath in the center of your heart space. And visualize or imagine that a beautiful light is glowing there. It's a light of love, it's a light of gratitude. And as you focus your breath, your attention on that beautiful light that is glowing in the center of your heart space, feel that light slowly beginning to radiate. It's just radiating and amplifying, spreading into each and every part of your body, till in your mind's eye, you are able to visualize or imagine this light is now radiating and amplifying and shining out from you into the space that you're in. It's flowing with love, with gratitude, with grace. It's very potent, it's very powerful. And it is spreading into the space that you're in, your home, or wherever you are right now, in your car. You could be sitting outside somewhere. You could be in nature. And this light is amplifying and radiating from your being and slowly and gradually spreading in the space you're in, that building, that street, that neighborhood, moving into the city, the town that you're in. It's spreading into your state, your country, and it's rapidly flowing out, and gradually, in your mind's eye, visualize this light of love, of gratitude, of grace, encompassing the entire planet. Visualize this beautiful planet, Mother Earth, bathed by this light of love, of gratitude, of grace. Feel it, sense it. Breathe into this and anchor this vision in the depth of your being, knowing that you are love, you are gratitude, and you are grace, and your light is shining and radiating and filling this entire planet. Take a few deep, slow breaths and acknowledge your love for this beautiful planet, for yourself, for your fellow beings, for all that is beyond and on, the universe and beyond. And then open your eyes when you're comfortable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is, so it is, so it is. It is love, it is love, it is love.
That was absolutely beautiful. With my
Thank
immense
you, thank you, thank you.
pleasure and gratitude.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
want our audience to remember our beautiful friend, Indrani Sinha.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much,
Over
Apple.
30
Thank you so
years
much.
of professional experience and over 42 years of her spiritual dedication. If anyone in their lives, if you have any quest, any doubt, any confusion, go to see my dear friend, my dear sister in Dubai if you're in that geography. Thank you so much for coming to my first very special session. My LBL story, we await to your great examination result. And to the audience,
Thank you.
we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you, Apple. Thank you so much, MNI, for giving us this beautiful opportunity. And thank you so much, viewers. Please continue watching all our podcasts, watching everything that we share. We are there for you. And Apple, I just wish you lots of love and lots of light, my dear, beautiful friend. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
The appreciation and the pleasure is equally mine. I definitely shall see you around in your wisdom series. We continue to work with each other and share love with each other.
Thank you. Look forward.
Dear friends, I am so pleased to share this news with you from our friend Indrani. At the date of releasing this episode, she has got her annual checkup result. It is all normal. I can't hide my excitement for you, my friend. A sister, a very gifted guide, healer. You are so valuable to the community, to the MNI family, to your clients, to people who come to you to seek for answers, healing, guidance, and relief. You deserve the very best, And I am so grateful for consciousness that this magical work. We wish you the very best for your continuous journey. And to the audience, magical healing does happen. Believe in yourself. Explore new knowledge. Explore inside the knowledge. Allow the self to expand greater consciousness. Remember, what creates us can heal us. Humans, we now entered a new age. The possibilities is absolutely unlimited. Thank you for watching.